Okay, so we have a basketball player that's got an 80% free throw success rate. How many shots might she be able to make in a row without missing? So describe how you're going to simulate the component. So basically a component is the most basic event that we are going to simulate. And so I would say that is going to be that she's taking one shot at a time. And that's what's going to keep being repeated. She's going to keep taking one shot. So I would say use random integers. Remember, because we need single digits, we're going to use 0 through 9. Because that still gives me a total of 10 different numbers, which makes it easy since this is 80%. So I would say, since she has an 80% success rate, I would say 0 to 7 is going to be a good shot, basically meaning a make, and 8 and 9 is going to be a miss. So describe how we're going to simulate a trial. Basically, we're going to shoot shot after shot until she misses. So we're going to do this one with a random number table. So I'm going to, in this part, when you're answering this part of the question, you would want to say how you're going to do it as far as if you're going to use the random number generator, random number table, whatever. So we're going to do the table on this one. This will probably be the only one we use the table for, just because I want you to understand what we're doing. We may do one that's multiple digits so that you can see how that would work as well, but primarily we're going to just do this one. So look at a random number table. Find a series of numbers.
Does it matter what numbers it is or no?
Well, it's going to be these numbers.
Okay.
Until we find an 8 or 9, because that would imply a miss. So essentially, I'm going to count every make until I get to an 8 or a 9, and I don't obviously count that shot. So I'm counting all the makes that she gets. So the response variable is the number of shots without missing. So for the sake of this one, we're going to use rows 20 through 40. So I'm going to run 20 trials. So on the random number table, rows 20 through 40, or I guess it's technically 21 through 40, because that would be a total of 20 trials, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 21 through 40 is going to be the 20 trials. If I use 20 through 40, that's actually 21 trials. Which is fine if you do that. You just have to make sure that you know how many you're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the number of each row. And then as we go through, I'm just going to document basically how many I have for each one. But I'm going to underline or I'm going to basically be using this to count until we get a miss. So I'm going to pull the iPad away so you're not going to be able to see it. But just know, like, on row 21, however many we have, I'm just going to write that beside it, and then we're going to do a total and figure out the average as part of our conclusion. All right, so I'm starting on row 21, and I realize this is tiny, so it may be kind of hard to see, but I'm looking at single digits until I get to an 8 or a 9. So starting in row 21, I have a 1 and then I have an 8, so she has 1 make before she has a miss, so just write a 1 next to 21. In row 22, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then she has a miss, so there's 13 makes before a miss, so write 13 by 22. 23, 1, 2, 3, 4, then there's a miss, so 4. Row 24, 1, and then there's a miss. 25, there's a miss right away, so that's a 0. 26, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a miss. 27, 1, 2, 3, and then a miss. 28, I've got a miss right away. 29, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a miss. 30, I've got a miss right away. 31, 1, 2, and then a miss. 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a miss. 33, 1, and then a miss. 34, 1, 2, 3, and then a miss. 35, 1, 2, and then a miss. 36, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a miss. 37, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a miss. 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a miss. 39, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a miss. And finally, 41, and then a miss. Okay. Have fun. Good luck today. Sing well.
Well, you're leaving at what, 11:30? Alright, good luck with the race.
Thanks. Good luck. Have fun running and singing.
Yep. Busy day.
All right, so I ran 20 trials, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and I'm going to add up all of these numbers that I have right in here for how many shots she took, and then I'm going to divide by 20, so I'm going to find the average of how many shots that she would make before she misses on average. So when I do that, take all the numbers, add them up, divide by 20. She might shoot about 3.7 shots before she misses on average. Which is pretty good. Because that would imply that she's missing basically 1 out of 5 shots, which is, I mean, that number is pretty close to that, what we would expect to see. So obviously her success rate was 80%, so 80% of the time she would make it. But if they change something to say that her success rate was only 72%, we would have to change how we are calculating this information. So what we would have to do is we would have to use random integers. And I would say that personally I would use 0 through 99, and I would probably do this on a calculator. Actually, I need to do 0 through 99. Now, I say that if I'm doing it on the table, everything has to be 2 digits, so it would have to be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, and so on and so forth. If you use your calculator, so this would be in the table, on the calculator I could just use 0 through 99 because it will just put up the number as it is. But if I'm using a table, I have to use 2 digits so that it's consistent when I'm going about it. So 0 through 71 would be a good shot, and 72 through 99 would be a miss. I'm just going to note here, or 0, 0 to 71, because if you're using the table, then it would have to be that way. And so let me look at row I'm going to look at row 24 just so you can see this, what this would look like as far as us actually calculating out how to find this. So anything above 72 as a 2-digit is going to be a miss. So row 24, I've got 69, I've got 23. Now notice these are in increments of 5. So this 8 and this 99, or 8 and 9 would go together. So the last number in the first column and the first number in the second column, that's actually making that up. So that means that on the third shot, she would have missed under that calculation, essentially. So just be aware of, like, with this table in particular, because a lot of times they'll group them, that they're grouping an odd number of things. So you just would keep going with the next number in the line if you have to do something like that.
And why is this one have to be double digits?
Because this is a success rate of 72%. So the other one was 80, so it was like an increment of 10.
Okay.
So if it's anything other than an increment of 10, you pretty much have to use double digits.
Okay.
Because we can't say like 7.2, obviously. All right, we'll go ahead and stop there because these examples obviously are stuff that continues. Example 7, obviously we have to do 6, but example 7 is a kind of a continuation of this problem, but it's for a 1-in-1 shot, which is where like you have to make the first one to get to shoot the second one, and so that's a little bit of a different way that we will analyze that one compared to the one that we just did. So, but we should be able to do that all on Monday and wrap up this section. Then hopefully, because there's just the 3 examples left. So, anyways, that's that. And this way you don't have homework this weekend.